Hey everyone, Evan from Find My Ancestry here, and today I'm doing a really fun video that I'm excited to share with you, and that is teaching you how to use eBay to search for your ancestors and your family history. I know this is pretty out of the box thinking. I don't think a lot of people think about eBay when they think about doing genealogical research, but I want you to start thinking about it that way because it can be a really good tool and you can really find some treasures on this site. People who sell on eBay typically will shop thrift stores and yard sales and buy things and try to flip them. They'll buy them for a really cheap price and try to sell them for a higher one. There are people who do this professionally, and there are so many things for sale regarding family history on eBay that I just really wanted to show you a few different things to look for. One of the things to look for are family Bibles. That's one of my favorite things to use as a source. If you don't know, family Bibles used to be where people, and some still do, would write their family tree or genealogy information. The Bibles would be handed down from generation to generation, and each person who was kind of the keeper of the family Bible for that generation would write down their family tree in it, and the information just grew as time went on. As the practice has kind of fallen out of habit, however, these are the type of things that sadly do end up at rummage sales and thrift stores. But luckily for us, the pickers of eBay have started picking them up and they are for sale online. So let me just show you a few examples. I'm going to type in Shaw Family Bible and we'll just see what comes up here. You can see the first two things aren't very helpful. This might be more of a useful search, and any eBay search will probably be more useful if you have a more rare last name. Not always, but sometimes easier. Right here we have the Solomon Benjamin Shaw Etta Ellen Sadler Family Records Book, 1974. So let's just click on that. And there's only one photo, I think, in this listing. I'll click on that here. Now there's no more photos, it looks like. Down in the description, they've written it's a book entitled Family Records of Solomon Benjamin Shaw Etta Ellen Sadler, Ancestors and Descendants, compiled by Roland Wesley Shaw, Arthur Fayette Shaw, and Grace Shaw Wolt. Describes the book a little bit. The preface of the book notes that this is not a family genealogy. It is a collection of family records. Who cares? That's still awesome. I mean, I almost prefer family records to a written genealogy. It says the cover has some wear. I mean, a lot of these things are going to have wear. The price is a little steep. That is something I'll caution you about. People know that if you're looking for this on eBay, you're probably not necessarily desperate, but really excited to get your hands on it. What I would recommend doing on these is click this make an offer and just make a reasonable offer. A lot of times eBay sellers are really willing to come down in price as long as you're reasonable and friendly with them. So there's one example. Let's go back. Here's another one, Colorado History, Genealogy, Davis and Shaw Company and Family History. U. Shaw Sidney Cogburn Family Reunion Cookbook Recipe Book, 2002 History and Photos is the title of this. Let's just click on that and see if they have any photos of it. Might be interesting. I can zoom in and see there is a family reunion photo on the cover of this. That's really neat. So you could find a family photo even doing this. And don't discount just because this is a cookbook that this isn't a family history record that you can use, because recipes and food is such a big part of culture and it's unique to every family's culture. Recipes get handed down from generation to generation. So don't discount things like cookbooks. These are all things that can help you kind of put the pieces together of your family tree. So there's a cookbook. Let's go back. Not seeing too much else in this search result, and that's just with one name, looking for family Bibles. Let's try a different, maybe a less common name. Let's do O'Gara, an Irish name. Okay. So the first thing that comes up, a vintage John J. Crowley and Company 1953 Catholic Family Edition hardcover Bible. It says family edition, but it doesn't look like it's been written in, so this is not something that would help you to research your family. Maybe you could buy this and start your own family history Bible. That would actually be a really good idea. So if that's something you're interested on, you could bid on that, or you could buy it now for just $39. None of these are my listings, by the way. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Look at this, an 1893 Holy Bible, huge version with no writings or markings. It just says Family Bible, but no writings or markings. So that's probably not going to help you. Let's scroll down here. Let's click on this interesting, huge, antique 1885 Family Bible. And this is pretty expensive, but I just wanted to look at it and show you. It says the only family page left is the marriage certificate, which is blank. The other family pages were removed by a previous owner. So this one doesn't have any family history information in it. So you want to definitely read the descriptions of things to make sure that they have information you're looking for. So let's try another name. Let's do Franklin. That's not an uncommon name, but let's just see what comes up. Ancestors, Descendants, Shastine Family, Franklin, Tennessee Genealogy History Book. Let's click on this. And this book is a genealogy, the ancestors and descendants of William Shastine Sr. of Franklin County, Tennessee. If this is one of your ancestors, this would be a fantastic book to buy on eBay. Let's look at these pictures. You can see there are family trees, family genealogies listed on the pages. I mean, this is just an invaluable resource. There are photographs. This is just a really incredible resource. If I was related to this person, I would be buying this right now. So the copyright's 1998, and this is the person who wrote it. So this is a, it's like maybe a self-published genealogy. So these are great resources. I also just want to caution you, make sure you're confirming anything you find in these using primary sources like vital records, birth certificates, that kind of thing. Doesn't mean don't take them seriously, but make sure you always want to verify your sources. And as you're writing things down in your own tree and your own notes, cite your sources as well. So you want to cite this book as a source. Let's go back here and let's do a different type of search now. I'm going to write Smith Family Reunion. That's a really common name, so we'll just see what comes up. Oh. I'm going to add the word photo. Okay, so the first few aren't a match, but here we have this really interesting 1919 World War I postcard that looks like it's signed on the back, and you can look at this and see if it's potentially a match for any of your ancestors. So you can find these kind of antique photographs. Okay, here's something that's more along the lines of what I was looking for. Family Reunion by Carol Smith. Let's see if there are any descriptive words about this. It just describes the condition at the bottom, so you don't really know what's in this. It might be worthwhile to contact the seller in this case and see if they can tell you more about what's on the inside. Let's do a new search. Let's look for yearbooks. Let's look for a 1959 high school yearbook. And here we go. Let's say you've gotten rid of your old high school yearbook. A lot of us do as time goes by. You think, what are you ever going to use this again for? Then you start doing genealogy and you really wish that you had your grandma's old yearbook to look at her photos. People do sell these on eBay. So if you're looking for a yearbook, look on eBay. I mean, look how many of these are. I just put a year in, of course, but you could get as exact as you want to. And this is 1959. Let me just show you. There are even older years on here. Let me try one. 1935. Look at this. I mean, look how great these are. From 1934 and 1935. Amazing. Now, I want to make sure the condition is the way you want it to be. So look at the photos and the listings. Talk to the seller to make sure it's really what you're looking for. Sellers on eBay I've found to be really willing to answer questions. They want to make the sale, so don't be afraid to message them. You can see these great photographs in there. If you're really looking for a photo of an ancestor, this would be a great thing to do, is look at these yearbooks. Let's go back here. So I've shown you Bibles, reunions, and yearbooks. Let's look at some family history documents. Let's look at marriage certificate, 1920s. Let's just throw that in as an example. Now, it's probably going to be hard to find an exact record for your family searching this way, but if you're just curious about what did things look like at that time, my great-grandparents were married in the 1920s, what would their marriage certificate have looked like? You can just kind of get a feel for what things looked like when your ancestors were alive, and it helps you reach out and touch that history and kind of give you an idea of what their world was like and what it really looked like. Look down here. There's even some photographs, some wedding photographs. It would be great if these were labeled with names. All right, let's go up to the top. And I'm going to show you one more thing to look for on eBay, and that is heirlooms and antiques that could be related to family history. Let's put in a surname and then write family heirloom. These are, looks like pillows and blankets. Okay, and look at this, an 1800s pine wood doll cradle from Iowa. So if you know, maybe you have ancestors in Iowa who lived there at this time, and you think, what did their life look like? What did their furniture look like? What did their toys look like? You can go on eBay and look, and you can find images of these things. And it really helps, and I just think it's fun and interesting to kind of see what the world looked like for your ancestors. What did their possessions look like? I mean, go beyond, like I said, vital records, birth certificates, death records, and reach out, look at what their life looked like and their world looked like, and you're kind of touching their history. Let me do one more search before I end this video. So I want to show you a really good family Bible. I'm going to look and see if I can find one. I'm going to type in a state and a surname and help me narrow it down, and let's see if that helps. Okay, perfect. Antique Pocket Bible, New Testament, Philadelphia, 1836, for the Alsbach family. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but here's one example. Let's click on that and see if there are any photos in it. Has the first page, and then this is what I'm talking about with family Bibles. People would write names in them. This is kind of garbled. I don't really know what it means in here, but I do see the name Alsbach. Jean or Janice Alsbach on there was married to Mary Miller. So that's an example of something you could find in a family Bible. There are some pages from the Bible, and you could ask the seller if there are any more writings in it before you purchase it, of course. So there's a really good one. Now let's go back. And this one says, oh, I always like to look for the ones with surnames on them. Those listings tend to have more writings in them. Antique leather Bible from 1870, Pope Danowitz family, Indiana of Illinois. Let's click on this and see if he has any photos. Looks like there are a few. I'm going to try and blow up this picture once it loads here. Great, family records, and look at how awesome this is. Births are listed, and that's just one page. There might be even more in this Bible. This is one of those cases where if you have one of these surnames in your family history and they were in Indiana or Illinois around this time, this would be potentially worth a purchase. This doesn't have best offer on, but that doesn't stop you from messaging the seller and saying, hey, I'll give you $50 right now instead of $100. And even when I've paid for things a little bit more than what I maybe wanted to, I've never regretted it because they've always helped me solve a family mystery. And I just think it's a small investment, a small price to pay to preserve your family history for generations to come. So I hope this video helped you think outside the box when it comes to researching your ancestors. They might be on eBay, just waiting for you to find them. Thanks for joining me. Tune in next time. If you want to start researching your family history today and preserving your history for years to come, click the link below to join my mailing list, and I'll send you our free ebook, Start Your Family Tree, free online, and you can get started today. That's it for me. All the best and happy hunting.